Hey, welcome to this video. What I want to do today is I want to share with you a story of how I went from part-time in my internet business to full-time in my internet business. And what I want to do is I really want to teach you some things that you need to know if you want to make this jump, and do so from my kind of twisted story of how it all happened, and how I had a false start and quite a scary situation that I'm going to be able to learn from here. So let me tell you a bit about my story of going from part-time to full-time in my internet business. I'm going to share with you some of the strategies I learned and some of the things that you need to start doing that are, quite frankly, probably holding you back right now, because it's probably one of the most frustrating experiences in your life, building your internet business and having to do so when you're working a full-time job, when you have a family, potentially kids, and all these other pressures, and maybe you've got financial pressures and stuff like that, and you're going, I gotta build this internet business to get us to where we want to go in my life, and so on and so forth, and yet everything is going against me. Not only that, I don't even know what I'm doing, I can't get traffic, I don't know if I'm in the right market. It's a mess. Here's what happened to me, and then we'll get into your situation. First thing is you probably read my story or whatever. I'll just back up. Up to about 2004, late 2004, I was a pastor in a Christian church, and I had this technology company that I co-founded with my partner and friend out of San Diego, and I was up here in Canada, in Edmonton, Canada. And so I couldn't do the church full-time, this business full-time, and marriage full-time. I just couldn't do it. We didn't have kids at the time. And so I resigned from being a full-time pastor, and in January of 2005, late December 2004, January 2005, I transitioned from the technology company, and it's very important. And we did that all the way to, say, the early summer of 2005, and we were helping churches with CMS systems, how to manage systems for managing their backends of their websites and stuff like that. It was pretty cool stuff, but the problem is we misjudged a lot of things, big time, because what had happened is, well, first of all, on a personal side, my wife was pregnant with our first daughter, and we had just built a new house. Things were going pretty good. But the problem was the business wasn't. What had happened is we had hit the wall with our technology development. We were profitable, but the problem is we were not throwing off enough profit in order to finance our growth, because growing a technology company is extremely expensive, because you've got to get ahead of the curve, you got to hire developers, you got to have all this infrastructure, and we were hosting sites and all this kind of stuff. It was a mess. So it was going to require a massive financial investment from us, or investors, or debt, or something like that, and so we just sold the company. And that was the summer of 2005. It's probably one of the darkest times of my life, because you think like, oh, hey, sold your company, awesome. Maybe you made it on Forbes, blah, blah, blah. Not likely. In order to get the price we wanted, which really wasn't a lot in light of things, we had to split up the purchase over a period of years and essentially carry the person who bought it from us. And he ended up paying us, but it was over a period of years, and we agreed to it. So here I was in the summer of 2005. I wasn't getting nowhere near enough, not even close, like 20% of what I needed to live off of. And I had a little bit of money to last me a few months that would pay for some stuff for my internet business. And I had this little site on the side, and this little site, which is now airplanebuying.com, which you've probably seen, making me hardly anything. It wasn't even worth, it was kind of just a side thing, right? Kind of like what you probably have right now. And I had a pregnant wife, who she's my wife, lovely wife. She's pregnant with our daughter, with a new house, and I pretty much was screwed. And so that's how I started. That was my false start. And that was the summer of 2005. And to top all that off, Google AdWords rolled out their first AdWords slap and wiped me out on that little airplane site where I was getting some traffic. So it was a mess. It was an absolute disaster. Could not have been worse. Was the furthest thing ever from the whole notion of I just sat down at the computer and 6 months later I was a millionaire. It was a mess. And so what happened? Well, what happened was I developed that airplane site up, diversified it, got went into a whole bunch of other niche markets and so on and so forth, and grew it, and we were okay. It was a lot of work, and it was, but it paid off. It definitely paid off. And I'm glad it was hard. Looking back, I'm glad it was hard because I've been able to weather all the changes in the internet, all the algorithm changes, everything. And it's forced me to diversify my businesses and to be smart about it and not just rely on a one-trick pony and do it right using a system. Okay, now here's what you need to realize. If you're starting from where you're at right now and you're trying to go from part-time to full-time in your internet business, I'm going to give you some strategies. First of all, you got to watch out for the landmines. That's the first thing you have to avoid. And landmines are the quick tricks, okay? Stay away from any unproven internet business model. You see all these like auto blogs, 1,000 blogs here, put up 1,000 blogs, make a dollar a day off 1,000 blogs, blah, blah, blah. All those kind of things. They're not proven, and the problem is you're going to get 6 months down the road into one of those systems that are not working, that are not proven, and it's going to blow up in your face potentially, and now you're 6 months further behind than you would have been otherwise. The other thing I want you to make sure you do is you've got to be aware of the shiny objects out there. Now, my hard drive is full of junk I'll never read, and probably yours is as well. There's some good stuff out there, obviously. However, what you got to realize is this. All that stuff's going to clutter your mind. It's going to clutter you, it's going to slow you down, and it's going to take away from your progress. The reason you buy so much stuff is because it gives you confidence. It's like we buy our way to confidence. It's like we see some shiny object out there that somebody's like, yeah, I just, showed up, did this, and now my dreams have all come true on the internet. Look at this screenshot. And then what we do is we buy that because we buy hope and go, oh, that's going to be me. Oh, in just 6 months. And you get out your spreadsheet and you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. I'm just going to quit my job now. I don't even have to start this. And you spend like a week just dreaming about what's going to happen, and you almost live vicariously through the people whose products you buy. And I used to do that too. Excuse me. And you don't even know you do it. And so that's the biggest problem. That's one of the second biggest problem. Stop buying hope. It's dangerous, and you're going to let yourself down, and it's going to emotionally destroy you, okay? It's very dangerous because you're in a very emotionally charged state of your life right now because you're trying to build your internet business so you can live your dream life, and it is possible. And you see it happen to everybody, and you're like, but what about me? What did I do wrong? Here's the third thing you need to do, okay? First thing is avoid those shiny objects, first thing is avoid those landmines, internet landmines. Second thing is avoid those shiny objects. Third thing you need to do is you've got to focus on one system. I've consulted one-on-one with literally hundreds of internet entrepreneurs. I can tell you without a doubt, this is the number one problem that 95% of the month everybody has all had, and I had it too. It took me about 2 years to figure this out, and then things kind of started to really move. Here's what happens. When you're starting out, you don't have confidence. You don't have a lot of confidence in your skill set. You're kind of like, you're just trying to figure this out. You're like, geez, I got to get to 10,000 a month, 5,000 a month, whatever it is to get to, so you can get rid of your career, day job, whatever it is. And so you go, oh, I can use Amazon, promote Amazon affiliate products there. Can you start doing that? And then I can start a blog in the internet marketing market to teach people what I'm learning. And then I can put some AdSense on that. And then I can start these AdSense content sites. And then I can hire somebody in the Philippines for real cheap, give me lots of backlinks, and then hire somebody else in the Philippines for cheap and create me lots of article content that I can just put all over every article directory on the internet. And I'm going to get leads from that. I'm going to get backlinks, and I can put out RSS this and feeds and spin this. And then I can go and be an affiliate because there's some real hot products in the dating market and the weight loss market, so I can be an affiliate on AdWords. And then what I can do is maybe diversify on Facebook a bit because it's good to be diversified. So I'm going to go over to Facebook and buy some pay-per-click traffic on Facebook, open up a Twitter account so I can be diversified there, have a few YouTube videos, so on and so forth. None of those things in themselves are necessarily bad or evil. However, when you're doing like 5 different things all at once, you're in 5 different business models in which within each of those business models, you've got a couple sites and you're not doing anything well. You're just basically spinning your wheels, and you've hit the law of diminishing returns. And what the law of diminishing returns is, you make some momentum, and it's like this, it comes up, and then it just flatlines. And now it's taking you all your time every day just to maintain what you've been doing, which hasn't been working. You know what I'm saying? And you probably do because you've probably been there. And so you've got all these blogs, and you've got all these sites, and you've got all these forums, and you're got all this SEO stuff going on, you got people working for you, and you're got traffic you're buying, you're just trying all kinds of different stuff to see if something catches. It's very dangerous because you'll spend your way right out of business. And I'm assuming you're probably not interested in donating everything you have to the internet, right? We want to make this thing actually make you money and give you the lifestyle that you're looking for, and all those other things that go along with it, the time and all that kind of stuff. So what you got to do is you got to focus on one thing, not one traffic source, because one is the worst number in your business, right? One product, one traffic source, so on and so forth. SEO changes, AdWords changes, all these things change. Articles, e-sign articles, which is still awesome, but they went through a change, so on and so forth, right? With Panda or whatnot. So one traffic system, one system, and you've got to work that system until you master it, until you own it. Because here's the thing, when you take and sit down and you go, I've got 10, maybe 15 hours a week at maybe best to really work on your internet business, you got to make that time count. You can't spend all your time researching on forums, reading blogs, reading emails and stuff like that. You got to get to work and make that happen. And so what you need to do is you got to be a master at one system. My old karate instructor used to tell me, he said, I'm more afraid of a person who's practiced one move 4,000 times than I have of somebody who's practiced 4,000 moves once. Big difference. And that's the way to mastery. And if you're going to win at this internet thing, you've got to focus. So pick one system and master it. And hopefully you pick one that's sustainable and growing and has his track record behind it, because there's nothing worse than going down the road and going, wow, there's a waterfall at the end of this thing and this is a whole pile of junk and it's not working either. Pick a system, stick with it until you get to the point where you can, get rid of your job if that's your goal. And now you've freed up all this time where now maybe you can diversify and grow your business out of your business's cash flow versus out of your back pocket, right? And focus. And so you'll eventually maybe be able to do everything you ever wanted and go in all these different directions. But for now, until you're full-time, one system. That's my ultimate advice to you. Pick something, make sure it's good and focus on it. Now, obviously I have one. You can check it out. Click the link below here, whatever, snowballsecrets.com or snowballsuccess.com, and I can show you how I was able to get over 1.2 million visitors to my niche sites using the Snowball traffic system. Check it out. Would love to help you out. It's going to help you. I still use it to this day, and it's been over 7 years, and I've mastered it, and I know others have as well, and you can too, and it could potentially change your life. So click the link below here or go to snowballsecrets.com, and I look forward to helping you. But you remember, you can do it. And hopefully my stories encouraged you, because, I don't have an MBA. I don't have a lot of business education, Bachelor of Theology, which I'm very proud of. I really enjoyed. However, but you don't need all that kind of stuff. Keep going, persevere, do the right thing, focus, avoid those landmines, and focus on one system. And hopefully soon, you too will be where you want to go. And better days are ahead. Talk to you soon.